We're going to go back into our quiz page and do the editing for our actual access. Click on the quiz we want to edit. Go over here, click on Edit. Click on Edit Quiz Settings. And this will bring up the page where you make all the determinations as to when the student can access the quiz and how long he has for access and all of that. We'll quickly move down the list. Do you want the students to see the titles of the questions or not? Well, it may not make any difference, but if there's something that reveals the answer in the titles, then certainly you would not want those to be shown. Do you want the student to see all the questions at once, one at a time, deliver one at a time, and they cannot go back? Whatever choices you want to make there. How long is this quiz going to last? Well, you need to put something in. It might be 45 minutes. You can allow hours or even days here if you wish to. You also need to decide if you want to disallow the answer submission if time has expired. If you do not check this box, even though I have 45 minutes listed here, it will allow the student to go beyond that to finish the exam. So if the student takes 50 minutes instead of 45, at the end of that, when I see the results, there will be a red line at the top of the student's quiz saying the student has exceeded his time by 5 minutes, but it will still allow him to finish. If you click this box, when 45 minutes is up, the student will be finished whether he's finished or not. In this section, how many attempts will the student have? Will he take it once, or do you give him 2 attempts, or unlimited attempts, or whatever you may wish to do there? If you give the student multiple attempts, then you can make the student wait between attempts. So if he has 2 chances or 3 chances, you might make him wait a day between attempts perhaps, or something like that, hoping he will go back and do a little bit more study time. This is where you mark when the test will be available. If you click on the Allow Access Now, then whatever time and date it is, that's automatically filled in. And again, you can make your choices here, months, days, even years, and set all this up before the semester even begins. And the same thing here, available until. We usually like to give the students a window of access here. So rather than having just one time on one day to access this quiz, it would be better to allow students to have several days to access a quiz. Even a major exam where they're coming to the testing center, if the students are allowed a window of opportunity of perhaps 3 or 4 days to come in and take a major exam or take a quiz either, then this allows them to work around busy schedules and other conflicts they may have. So we might allow the student in this case to have say 3 or 4 days to take this exam. You can set your time as you wish here, of course, but just be careful with it 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. as this is often confusing to many people. I've gotten away from using that altogether, and if I want it to end in the middle of the night, I've gotten in the habit of setting it just before 12 midnight, so 11 p.m., 11:55 p.m. here, and that's pretty plain for everybody who sees it. Selective release. If you have a student who wants to take an exam or needs to take an exam because he missed it, he was ill, sick, for whatever reason, you wish to reopen it for that student. When you click on this, it brings up your list of students. Simply click on the student you wish to allow access for and click on Update. And then his ID number, or in this case, ID name, appears here. He will then be the only one who will be able to access this. So understand that you are excluding everyone else when you do this. If this is a major exam and you wish to password protect it, here's where you put in the password. It can be anything you want it to be. It is case sensitive, so make sure that you get the information correctly to the testing centers. The proctor will be the one to put in this test information, of course, and not the student. So the student never sees this password. He goes into the testing center, identifies himself, tells which exam he wishes to take, and the testing proctor enters the password for the student. The next area that we most often need to deal with will be this score area. If you do allow students to take multiple attempts, then which one are you going to use? Latest, highest, average, whatever it might be. Student score release. When and how are students going to be able to see their scores? The default here is do not release the score, so you need to change this if you want students to be able to see what they've made. For most of us, perhaps the best option here is the next to the last